we did allude to the Brooks and Dunn stuff a little bit. I did want to ask one last question before we get into the fun stuff, because I always thought this was such a cool moment in time when it came to music, and that was the "If You See Him, If You See Her" song being recorded by two legendary artists in country music at the same time. Both their records it was the title track of them. We're talking about Brooks and Dunn and Reba. I just want to hear from you. How did all of this take place? This had to be surreal.
Oh, looking back now, Chris, it was amazing that it happened. It almost didn't happen, which was really sad at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a situation where, and I talk about this when I go on tour. I do my solo dates. People like to hear some backstory or something interesting about a song.
Mm-hmm.
Not all songs have something interesting. Some just happen. This one was a situation where I was on the road with Ronnie, and early on, and they were touring with Reba McEntire, a big co-headline tour,
Mm-hmm.
and Ronnie just came on the bus and said, "Man, this tour is going well. If we had like a duet, I think we might do this tour again into next year." So I
Wow.
thought, man, that's a good idea. I was headed home off of that tour, and I had a writing appointment with Jennifer Kimball, who I just saw in Texas. She and Bob McDill have been a couple forever, and legendary songwriter. And Jennifer Kimball is a
Mm-hmm.
hit songwriter
Yep.
as well. I used to write with her and Tommy Lee James a lot. I had them coming up, and I told them the story. And so Jennifer had been thinking about it. She had that great idea. She's like, what if Reba walks into a bar and says to her girlfriends, "If you see him, let him know I'm thinking about him."
Wow.
We thought, man, that is such a cool idea. It already gets the couple talking. And so then we said, what if Ronnie does the same thing? If you see her, let her know I'm thinking about her. So that got the whole song started. And then we wrapped it up. I went in and did my best Ronnie Dunn voice, which I've been singing on those records already. Whoa, if you see her, the ER in that song, all those ers, is
Yeah.
so Ronnie Dunn.
Yep.
As we were singing it, we went, Ronnie's gonna love this.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a young girl, Sonny Russ, who was writing actually for Reba McEntire at the time, this young redhead, and we had our own little mini Reba. She did the Reba part, I did the Ronnie part, and the demo was so good. We were so excited. I took it to Ronnie, and you hear him singing like Ronnie, but I thought I have to get the point across, and played it for him, and he just flipped. I mean, one listen, and we were off and running. He's like, "Terry, I've never heard you sound better." He said, "Yeah, I sounded just like him." It's like,
Oh, that's great.
yeah, he actually told me that. So I thought, oh my God, I didn't know how it was going to go, but it went pretty well. And he was off and running, and Reba loved it. Then the labels got involved. Then the management got involved. Then it all fell apart because they were on two different labels. They couldn't figure out how to market it. Oh, man, I was just heartbroken because it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like those two at the top of their game coming together as a fake couple. It was perfect, and it completely fell apart. Ronnie was like, I'll go get Patty Loveless to sing it. I said, it just won't be the same. And we all love Patty. Reba would have been, I don't know, for whatever reason and so Reba, bless her heart, she said, we need to make this work. And I love this song, and we need to figure out how to make it work. So the only way they could make it work was they had albums coming, and her album was called If You See Him, and their album was called If You See Her. And they realized, they figured out, they released them on the same day.
I know.
Reba came in at 1, and Brooks and Dunn came in at 2 on the album chart. And then I tell everybody I got to keep my house after that.
Yeah,
so.
That's a score. Like that's the definition of a score, man.
Oh, it put me through hell, though. It wasn't going to happen, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God! I was just there's nothing you can do.
Unprecedented. Has never happened before. Hasn't happened since. What a story, man. Congrats on that, man.
Cool. Yeah.
Honestly, that's a moment in history.
You stick around long enough, every now and then things really can happen. I've seen a lot of things fall through. That's just the way it is in this business. I've had a George Strait cut. It was the title of the album. It was going to be the first single. It was so perfect. It's George Strait. One of the reasons I wanted to bring songs to Nashville, and it ended up not being the first single. Some programmer somewhere did not like the song, and it went from first single to no single. But I mean, I got the cut, which is great. I love the song is called "Always Never the
Yeah,
Same."
always never the same. I thought that was it. Yeah, yeah.
George loved it. He was doing it live. It was just perfect. He had already sent a couple of messages where he was loving the song before he cut it, you know. And I just thought that's so cool. A guy that I look up to so much, loving one of my songs, having to rehearse and learn it, you know, it's kind of mind blowing to think about it. But so anyway, thank goodness the duet did happen. And then later
great.
we went on and we had Cowgirls Don't Cry, which again was Reba very instrumental in making that happen because they cut the song originally just as a Brooks and Dunn song with her singing harmony. It just wasn't the same song. And she had the idea to stop it at the end, break it down, dramatic, add some drama and dynamics. And the next thing you know, she comes in and sings the last chorus out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it just gets people every time.
So Reba saved the day there. And I love to hear
that.
Good stuff.
Twice.
Yeah.